like life just gets in the way, just at the wrong time. Baby, just sometimes we should leave it all behind and get lost in a little bit of you and me time. We wanna do all night. Let's take it down. Put your lips on mine. If we could just find time so we could have a good time, we could love each other all night like it was the first time. Down, and baby, put your lips on mine. Stop, slow down. Hey, baby, we can take our time, 'cause we've got all night to do what we want to do all night. Let's take it down. Put your lips on mine. Before I hold you underneath the moonlight, I'm gonna love you all night. Stop, slow down, and baby, put your lips on mine. Stop, slow down. Hey, baby, we can take our time, 'cause we've got all night. We want to do all night. Let's take it down. Put your lips on mine. Oh, baby, slow down. I know you love me the way that I love you, but sometimes it's best left alone. And I've been trying to live this life without you, but sometimes I lose all self-control. So I call you up in the middle of the night just to say I love you, how much I need you, how bad I want you. I'm sorry, baby, I tried not to call you, but I'm just a man who loves a woman, and without you this ain't nothing. Girl, I miss you, and I know you miss me too, and I'm holding on to memories of you, and I can hear you, I can hear your soft sweet sighs, and when I close my eyes all I see is you. So I called you up in the middle of the night just to say I love you, how much I need you, how bad I want you. I'm sorry, baby, I tried not to call you, but I'm just a man who loves a woman, and without you this I need you, how bad I want you. I'm sorry, baby, I tried not to call you, but I'm just a man who loves a woman, and without you this ain't nothing. Oh, this ain't nothing.
Texas music around here, music made for dancing and holding sweethearts near. Bitter feelings playing, we're happy that you're staying. We do a lot of Texas music around here. There's nothing like a good song to make you wanna dance. The dance floor and your baby, things are right. The band knows all your favorites, so let the fun begin. It's Texas on the menu for tonight. We do a lot of Texas music around here, music made for dancing and holding sweethearts near. Bitter feelings playing, we're happy that you're staying. We do a lot of Texas music around here. Lone Star music has a way of capturing your heart. Moves right in your soul and there it stays. That boogie-woogie rock and roll don't stand a chance, 'cause here's the place to hear that fiddle play. We do a lot of Texas music around here, music made for dancing and holding sweethearts near. Bitter feelings playing, we're happy that you're staying. We do a lot of Texas music around here. We do a lot of Texas music around here.
Walking on the day near tall towers where falcons build their nests, silver wings they fly. They know the call of freedom in their breasts. So black-haired against the sky, where twisted rocks they run down to the sea, living on the western shore. So summer sunsets asked for more. I stood on your Atlantic Sea, and I sang a song for Ireland.
Talking all the day with true friends who try to make you stay, telling jokes and news, singing songs to pass the night away. Watch the Galway salmon run like silver dancing, darting in the sun, living on your western shore. So summer sunsets ask for more. I stood by your Atlantic Sea and sang a song for Ireland.
Dreaming in the night, I saw a land where no one had to fight. Waking in your dawn, I saw you crying in the morning light, lying where the falcons fly. They twist and turn, only in your blue sky, living on your western shore. So summer sunsets ask for more. I stood by your Atlantic Sea and sang a song for Ireland. And I sang a song for Ireland.
Hi, this is Richie D. I'm just waiting for our flight to Cambridge today. We're going to be meeting up with Bernice Walsh. Any inspiration from water for your songs, apart from Standing by the Ocean?
Yeah, there's Standing by the Oceans in my songs as well, yeah.
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 Water
in
is
in the songs, yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. I'm inspired a lot because I grew up at Tullahoe Bay near Dohooma Head. So, and you look across to Achill and Ballycroy.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of inspiration taken from there, a lot of memory in the songs about when I grew up there and when I was going back on holiday in the 90s. And that's pretty much what all my songs are about.
But I mean, yeah, well, yeah, the drums needed quite a lot of work.
Dreams of us wake me up at night. It seems as if I need to put up a fight. I see you there. I rescue. What's all this, honey? What did you do? I wrote to you and I
Okay. I'm in Cambridge today at a fantastic studio with Bernice Walsh, and we're at Book Match with Tim today.
Yeah.
Tell me, how many times would you have visited Tim for your work?
About 5 times, I'd say. 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, 5 times.
5 or
And
6
I've,
times
I've,
so
I've
far.
just watched you today, and
Yeah.
you're very, very particular about your guitar sounds and your vocals.
Yeah.
And how important do you find that in your final cut that Tim is going to produce for you? What does that, why do you need to have it so perfect in your mind?
I've been told I'm a bit pernickety.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why I have the perfection thing going on, I think it's because when I was a kid, I grew up with my mom being the choir director,
Okay.
and she always recorded us,
Yeah.
and we had to keep going and repeating it and repeating it and repeating it until it was perfect, and she'd tape record everything.
So that's
I
where
guess-
that perfection, that sense of perfection comes from there.
Yeah.
And what age would you have started in the music industry? In your mind, I don't mean now going on stage and performing in front of hundreds of people. I mean, when did you pick up your first instrument, and
Yeah.
how did that come about?
My mum noticed that I liked singing. I was very interested in Gay Byrne's music on the radio,
Okay.
and what Dolly Parton was singing about, and Tammy Wynette, and I'd be really heartbroken about their songs and wondering what happened to those poor ladies.
Right.
So my mum set up a keyboard on the sideboard, and she told me how to switch it on, and told me to keep running my fingers up and down the keys until I made out some songs. And she told me to learn Kumbaya first, and then Amazing Grace. So I started with hymns. When I had quite a lot of hymns learned, then she booked me in with Moretta Corrigan, who has a brilliant music school there in Bangor in Mayo.
Now we better touch on that.
Oh,
You are
Moretta.
a native. You are a native
I
of
am.
County Mayo,
Yeah,
and you're a native very close to Belmullet, as you just mentioned.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that. What? That's got to have influenced your music, being in that
it would
environment.
have. Yeah, because my cousins owned the High Chaparral pub.
Okay.
And we were always there. We were like working kids, collecting
Yes,
glasses and
yeah.
cleaning up afterwards and counting the money,
Uh-huh.
the piles of money that used to be made in the 70s. And there was a band from Glenamoy called McGraw's.
Okay.
And they'd come up. He had a big coach. He had a coach service as well, but they were musicians, that family.
Right.
And they'd come up every Sunday night. Every single Sunday night with a load of people from Glenamoy. And the jiving and the waltzing and the quick stepping on the maple floor that I scrubbed many times.
So you're no
yeah,
stranger to the very
yeah.
bottom of the
Yeah,
the
exactly.
industry. Yeah.
So
Cleaning the
McGrath
floor.
was great, and then when he retired, the Heenahans took over the residential, the residency
Yeah,
at the High
yes,
Chaparral,
yes.
and they were brilliant musicians.
Okay.
I believe Leo Heenahan is still playing drums with a band there in Mayo. He's quite successful, and I think Stephen still plays the guitar, but I'm not sure about the others.
Fantastic. And do you now still play the guitar, or just
Yeah.
sorry, you play the guitar, of course you do, but do you still play the piano now, or have you just turned all your interest now towards your guitar?
I've turned it towards the guitar mostly, but I'm going back to the piano again.
Okay.
Some songs I write on the guitar, and I think some of them need to be written on the piano.
Okay.
I have a tendency to hear the songs in a dream, or
Okay.
hear the songs and then I hear how they have to be made up,
Right.
and then
So,
I go along with that as best I can.
and who would you mentioned a lot of artists there at the beginning when I spoke to you just
Yeah.
now, Tommy Wynette and
Yeah.
people like that. But who's your real influence
Oh
in
my
the business?
goodness, when I saw Mary Black on the Late Late Show,
Yeah.
I was taken.
Okay.
That was it. And I flew back from Knock Airport and I bought the 2 albums, The Woman's Heart
Yes.
and Mary Black, the collection.
Yeah.
And because I had lived in England from the age of 16, I didn't know about these women in Ireland
Right.
that were amazing singers. Eleanor McAvoy, all those great ones. Maura O'Connell, I love
Okay.
her.
Yeah.
And so I taught myself all those songs and I mimicked them. On a Saturday, I tended to be the only one in the house.
Okay.
Everybody else was gone out to work and I had Saturday mornings off. And I used to blast out singing all those songs.
Oh, wow.
And I taught myself, in 6 months, I taught myself to mimic Mary Black. And then somebody heard me singing and I went gigging with him around London in the pubs for a few years.
And yeah, and that has been some of your work on stage, doing
Yeah.
Mary Black cover versions.
Mary Black cover songs were they went down storm. Everybody loved them.
I
down
would
there
say
in
you would
London.
have a perfect voice for Mary Black
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
material. Asking you, what category would you put yourself in? What genre would you put yourself in?
I'm in my own genre, I think.
Your own. Well, I'm sure there's a
It's
label
kind of-
for you. There's a label for
Yeah.
you, all the music that
It's
you do.
storytelling. It's about things that happened, and it's storytelling songs. So I guess it's folk.
It's folk.
It's folk with a bit of pop,
Pop
and a
in
bit
it,
of
yeah.
soft, very soft rock.
It's got a nice little
Yeah.
touch to it. I've been listening to some, and you've been sending me some of your music over
Yeah.
the last few weeks, and I've been enjoying every bit that you've sent. And you're going back to something that you keep chasing, and this is very important for independent music artists,
Yeah.
as far as I'd be concerned. You're chasing the elusive perfection.
Yeah.
This is, to me, a very long road. I
Yeah.
mean, if you keep going to production managers and sound engineers, do
Yeah.
you not think that somewhere along the line, most of them will agree with you that there's a problem with it, even though they can't hear it, but they will test for you to make some money from you. Do you?
Yeah. And lying to me that they're musicians.
This is very important,
You know?
Bernice,
Yeah, I've been
because
to
a lot
three-
of artists out
yeah.
there have been absolutely ripped off.
Yeah, I'd been to 3 or 4 other musicians, or producers, apparently famous in London. When I got there, it was a dingy dive in the basement. I ran out of there.
No one says anything about this radio
Yeah.
or this recording
It was
of
frightening.
studios being glamorous. Now,
Yeah.
we're in a very glamorous studio today. We're in a very nice place, and I wasn't here 5 minutes before I was
Yeah.
given a coffee and
Oh, the
looked
first time-
after
yeah.
by Tim.
The first time
And
I met Tim, I breathed a sigh of relief.
I'm telling you, and it is. I find it a very relaxing
Yeah.
studio that you're in now.
Yeah.
You know, and I find it that you're not going to get much, in my opinion, my humble opinion
Yeah.
here is, I don't think you're going to get much better than what we have
No,
here.
absolutely not.
I mean, that guy, Tim, has taken a lot of time to direct you. I watched him this
Yeah.
morning, and he's doing his best, in my opinion, right? Not maybe in everybody's, but in mine. And I think you could find perfection right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you think going to, because somebody like U2 or other of the big bands, because they have been recorded in, say, Abbey Road, because
Yeah.
the Beatles have been
I
there.
went, yeah.
Can I just say,
Yeah, carry.
that does not mean that you're going to end up with any better of a product than you have right here.
Yeah.
You know that?
I went to a posh place,
Yeah.
and I just felt very intimidated, to be honest with you. 3 professional, world-renowned producers behind a glass thing, and I'm there in this phenomenal room where they record orchestras and everything, and the sound was beautiful, but I just became too intimidated, and I didn't come out with the right product. I have to redo it now.
That's because of the feeling of intimidation
I
that took you
closed
out
up.
of your zone,
Yeah.
and you weren't just amongst the people that you should have been with, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
Yeah.
And I think the pitfalls that are out there for you and every other artist out there, like there's radio stations that will tell you, oh, that's a fantastic product you have. I have a friend who has a studio. Come along and join me, and we'll get you into that studio. And before you know where you are, then there's a magic triangle appears that you go first to the radio station, and you're love bombed by the presenter of the radio show, and then you're brought into the studio who's a friend of his, and then all of a sudden your music has to be not produced, but distributed by another friend of his. And this is all at Bernice's expense, or
Yeah.
at the independent artist's expense.
Yeah.
This is one of your pitfalls, is it not?
It is, because I'm a very trusting person.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't grow up with the warnings of what people might think or what they might actually be like.
Yeah.
I grew up in a very close-knit community, and I had my cousins as my friends, and
Yes.
I didn't learn about people per se. And as a youngster, I got a really nice job in the West End working with one man, a very professional man, Mr. Levy. I worked in his dental practice. I
Right.
became a practice manager in the end. And I worked in the Forum in Kentish Town in the box office. I was well protected, security guards everywhere. So I didn't learn about. I knew at a young age the dangers of going into the music industry. I had been offered 4 record deals when I was like 24, and I just declined all of them. Even one in New York by the Virgin studio there in Manhattan, and it just didn't sit well with me.
Right.
But now that I've written my own songs, I feel like I won't be used as much. It is my material. I can do with it what I like. I can make it the way I like. And I can come here to Tim as often as I like and add piano when I've practiced it, and when I've written out something, I can take my time making the songs.
So Bookmatch Studio has actually been very good to you.
It's brilliant. I came here as a person who had written songs on a classical guitar and said to Tim, this is how it kind of sounds. Can you redo it? And then he did that for me. And then he made me learn the guitar myself. And I went and bought an Alvarez guitar at the PMT shop. I went in there and I said, this is how I sound, guys. Can you listen to me singing? They're like, oh, God. So I went in and I sang my song, Standing by the Ocean. And they were shocked. They were like, oh, wow, you're really good, actually.
Yeah.
And Jake there went and just picked that Alvarez down off the shelf, and he said, this is the guitar for you.
And you've run with that, and can I say it does sound very well?
It
does
nice.
Sound very well. I've
Yeah.
heard you now today going with Tim here, your sound engineer and producer.
Yeah.
And I would say that I'm looking forward to the finished product so we
Thanks.
can play it on the show
Yeah.
and things like that. But I'd like to ask you, just if I may, and you're a very religious lady.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us just a little bit about how important your religion is to you, and does it inspire your music? Or
Oh, absolutely. I really don't feel that it's me that's writing the songs at all.
Okay.
Because of the way they come to me, they fly into my head. And because the way I write music, I have like 10 pages of random lines or random verses. And then all of a sudden, it's a song that's no relation to what I've been writing at all. It's just come into my head. Or I'm just writing something down, and next thing I fall sideways and I go into some kind of trance sleep, and I go straight into REM mode, and there's the song playing in my head.
where does your
You know?
melodies come from?
They come from the Virgin Mary, I guess. I don't know
Yeah.
where they go. Inspiration from the spirit world, I guess.
Well, good.
And they can come from myself, just practicing chords, going for chord changing.
yeah.
That's how I made the melody for Broken Beyond Repair. It was just chord changing.
Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of inspiration with that song, to be honest. Most of that is myself. That was a 20-verse song in the beginning.
Out of all the songs that you've written in the
Yeah.
last while,
Yeah.
what is your favourite?
The first one is Standing by the Ocean,
Okay.
because that was a song I prayed the rosary, and I asked Our Lady. I was having these dreams and I wanted to know what the dreams meant, and I asked what they meant.
Right.
And then I got pad and paper, and I asked Our Blessed Lady to ask the Holy Spirit to make a song for me, to explain it to me.
Okay.
And that song is about me leaving a guy behind in Ireland and absolutely smashing that guy's heart and ruining his life by me living in England.
Okay.
Been backing over, flitting here and there. Come around here with that face, and then you leave. We didn't quite say it as
Yeah, the lyrics are
politely
very,
as that,
very
but-
the lyrics are very interesting, I have to say.
Yeah.
I've listened to it a few times,
Yeah.
and I've listened to. You were in Dublin recently.
Yes.
You were over in one very famous studio
Yeah.
with a very famous producer.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that and your your experience?
Larry Hogan, I found him online, and he was doing online music production,
Yeah.
and he was using musicians from around the world, his friends. It was really nicely explained on his website. So I worked 7 days and 7 nights. I worked for months, 7 days a week, really long hours, and I saved up to have the song produced. And we had a Zoom call, and I explained the kind of new sound I wanted to create.
Yes.
And it would encompass, those hot as flowers, the Water
Of course.
Boys, that kind of sound with banjo, fiddle. These are the instruments I love. Mandolin, dobro. I love that. I love the dobro. He's put the steel guitar on it. I love the steel guitar.
Yeah.
It's a nice tune.
It is very. It's a lovely, catchy.
Yeah.
It is catchy.
My
That's
friend Lorraine Harron from Kent, who has a house there in Leitrim, she said it was a great treadmill song.
There you go. It's a great treadmill song. So she's going to shed a few pounds to Standing by the Ocean.
Yeah, not that
Well, I
she
hope it
needs
works
to.
for me too. No, I just noticed coming here to Brook Match with you today, and I thank very much yourself and Tim, and Tim is the proprietor here of this fantastic studio.
Yeah.
And I would like to make people aware that fly from Dublin to Stansted, right? It's so easy. It's an hour and 5 minutes on an aircraft.
Yeah.
there's a hotel that I'm staying in. I won't mention the name of that because, for obvious reasons. And it's at a train station that comes straight from Stansted.
Yeah.
And I suppose value for money, because some of them are paying extortionate fees to do what you're doing here.
Yeah.
And I would think that it would be a great idea for the independent artists in Ireland to really look a little bit beyond the Irish market and maybe look at maybe a short flight over here. Get in touch with Tim, for instance, here at Book Match, and I'm sure you'll find him online.
Yeah.
And I think that if you can direct somebody to do just maybe a little bit more work for a little bit less money outlay, it helps the artist.
And when I came to Tim, I came with a band in a box, backing track, and put a vocal over it. That was the first encounter we had. That was awful. So I asked him then to come to make a track, and I told him what kind of music I liked, and he just gave me a perfect track.
I was privileged.
More than perfect.
I was privileged today to watch you doing some of your instrumental work on your guitar, and I can see how attentive Tim is.
Yeah.
And he's pointing you in the right direction, and if it's not right, he'll tell you straight up. And he's not going to tell you what you want to hear. He's going to tell you what you need to know.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't see you as a cash machine. He doesn't see you, in my opinion, and I only know this studio for the last hour or so I've been here, and I've really enjoyed what I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's great for any artist to be able to walk into a studio and feel as if, you know, your priority here, your money is secondary. You will pay for your service, of course you have, because he's got overheads.
Yeah.
But the quality of what you're going to have done is priority, is paramount.
It's a great day out for me.
It is.
It's better than any gig.
Yeah.
I have started singing my songs live at the Ferrycroft in Saffron Walden, which is a lovely place to go. They're very supportive.
Yeah.
And I've just been offered a gig as well.
Yeah.
At a place in Cambridge.
Yesterday we were in a music shop. We visited a music shop, and I heard one of the guys talking to you, one of the sound engineers, telling you to go into a certain place and I know for a fact that you will do well there. I just have that feeling for you.
Yeah.
I can only wish you all the very, very
Thank
best
you.
on behalf of all our listeners and all our viewers tonight on this show. And I can't say any more, but you've been a perfect host. Thank you very much for accepting me over here in Cambridge.
Well, thanks for coming
and,
over.
Thank you to Tim for allowing me in here to disrupt his day's work with you. And what can I say? Only I've come to tell you this: your songs are going to be very much up on my playlist.
Thank you
on
so much.
Most of my shows on a
Thank
Wednesday
you.
night, and I'm going to be putting this after the show's finished for everybody to see. On several times afterwards, you know, they can keep repeating it if they want to. I'm going to put it up on Facebook, especially this interview, and I just hope and I wish you all the success in the world, because you seem to be a very dedicated person to your music.
Yeah.
Bernice Walsh, thank you very much for joining Richie D.
Thank you, Richie D.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, most of you would know me from the radio show, the Richie D Show. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Bernice Walsh was a fantastic artist there, and she took us over there last August into Cambridgeshire, where we were able to record just a few bits and pieces around, and yes indeed, and I wish her every success. Now, if you'd like to join me here on any one of the programs and be interviewed, and let's go live Facebook, or live YouTube here, of course all you have to do is contact Richie D, and the email address is right there. My email address is right there below me. I think you'll see it just there. Look at it, it's there. Look, okay, whoop, there, right? Yeah, email richiedshow@yahoo.com. That's richiedshow@yahoo.com. And I'd only be too glad to pass you on to Sandra. Sandra looks after all the Facebook page there. We have a Facebook page, and it's called The Richie D Show. If you want to jump in there and join that, and you're an independent music artist, well, why not do just that? Now, we're looking at music and videos side of the show. I'm looking for to develop an independent music artist video section of a program. And what I intend to do is to do the old Facebook Live as well as the radio show here. I'm a DJ on Phoenix Country Radio on a Wednesday and Friday, and I'd only be too delighted to receive your new material. Now, there's a couple of people out there that don't, distributors in Ireland, that don't include me in their list. Well, there's only one actually, and he's well known to me. He's just down the road from me, but I don't know what it is. I challenged them there one time on a little bit of skullduggery. And you know yourself, you're on the blacklist. I am on the blacklist because I stand up for artists. I've been involved in music all my life. People just come in here and there, and they enjoy what they listen to. And as far as I'm concerned, I would like you to personally make sure that I have your play for my playlist, your latest material. Along with that, we're going to go back to a few videos. Now, I want to show you the quality of some of the people that send me in, the quality of their material. I'm going to show you a few songs, one after the other, but you are tuned to the Richie D Show, and I hope you're enjoying what you're watching. And do you know what? If you share it or give us a like, or maybe just help me in general to do what I do. I have a passion for this old music game, and I'd love to be able to turn around and say, oh, these are the fantastic band from Canada, or these are a fantastic outfit from New Zealand, or whatever. It doesn't matter where you are, but I do think that we could actually make a go with this, and there's no financial gain in this whatsoever for me. All I need you to do is, because the way I see it, you've already spent the money, you've had your recordings done, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a dog eat dog, and you know yourself, it's a dog eat dog world. I was on another radio station, and one DJ is teamed up with another DJ, and they make my life a little bit awkward, so I had to leave. They forced me out of the radio show. But however, I'm back with Phoenix Country Radio, which is, there's none of that carry on in there, and your show is on merit, not on I think I put it all on Facebook there, and I will not go into that. But fighting the cause is what I do for the independent music artist out there. And as far as I can do, I may be a small little gear in the cog. But, there's large ones out there as well, and they're doing their best as well. And I'm absolutely delighted to hear it and see it. But there's a couple of sharks out there, you know who I mean. Some of you have come across some of them in your time. But in the meantime, shall we just have a beautiful video from Andrew Dean? Too Many Troubles is a great one. I'm going to bring you this one. Here you go, folks. Enjoy this, right?
Today was a good day before I opened my eyes. The phone, it was a ringing, and to my surprise, she left with no warning to the angel's lullabies. Why didn't I go and see her for her final goodbye? I've got too many troubles and too little time to say what I'm feeling, to clear my clouded mind. The river is flowing, it's flowing way too high, as my troubles flow by. goes by. Numb from these feelings and wondering why. Drown in this river as life flows on by. Alone in these feelings, now it's my turn to cry. I've got too many troubles and too little time to say what I'm feeling, to clear my clouded mind. The river is flowing, it's flowing way too high, drowning my sorrows as my troubles flow by. The river is flowing, it's flowing way too high, drowning my sorrows as my troubles flow by.